Ndị be anyị ndewo. Nke onye chiri ya zere. A sị ka ọmaka meela anyị n'ụbọchị nke tata. For those who are listening to me who are not Igbos, may today be a good day for everyone, and may today be a day of blessing, just as you are listening to my voice. I am Dibia Nwangwu Uchendu from Oka in Anambra State. The topic for the day is Ibafa. Ibafa means spiritual consultation. Ibafa is a medium through which one can hear or know the mind of spirits by the diviner. Only the diviner can interpret the spiritual language. During the days of our forefathers, they believed in Ibafa, that is spiritual consultation, than any other thing. This is to know their way forward and also to seek solutions to their problems. Many people don't know the good purpose in Ibafa, while some people may know. The good purpose in Ibafa is one we know much about one's life, either the past, the present, or future. You can also know the hidden things happening around you. You can know the mind of your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, even of people close to you or any project you want to embark on. You can know the best decision to take that won't destroy your future and many other things. Now, when you go for AFA consultation, lots of things are revealed. When a child is born, for you to know the future of that child, or if the child is Dada or not, the spiritual names of that child, the spirit that follow that child, and the spiritual lineage, or if the child is from your father's or mother's side, is through spiritual consultation. That is Ibafa. Ibafa is good. It's just like those in Christian imported religion. They normally say it's vision or prophecy. You know, when their pastors or their prophets or their prophetess, visionaries are slain in the spirit, they reveal things to them. They will tell them that Jesus said this, Jesus said that. But I want to tell you today that anything that has to do with Ibafa and the person conducting it, the person comes from a spiritual lineage. The person's ancestral spiritual lineage have that gift that was bestowed on them by Chukwu Okike, Ekekeruwa, or Chineke, like we call him in our indigenous dialect. It is not Jesus or J-Boy that gave that power. It comes from your spiritual ancestral lineage, or you can say your ancestral lineage. If you check that lineage thoroughly, you will see that there are people who lived in other generations that have been doing that. It's a gift from the Creator, Chukwu. I prefer calling him Chukwu or Chineke in our own indigenous dialect, because God does not mean anything to me as an Igbo person. If you notice around you, many Africans prefer calling the Creator by their own indigenous name and language, because the white man cannot call his own God your own name you gave to Chukwu in your own indigenous dialect. That is by the way. Now, this Ibafa, there are so many ways of Ibafa, and there are so many types of Afa. We have Afa Ugili, the one they use Ugili for. We have Afa Ose, like a vision. Afa Oji, this one they use kola nut. And once you bring kola nut, the person will say some words. Now you go for talk to the person past, and they split it and keep interpreting what the kola nut is saying. We have Afa Ita. This Afa Ita has to do with, if you ask a question and you throw some certain things, the instrument the person used the other way, if it goes that way, left or right, he will interpret it for you to tell you Some use sand, some use water. Once they look inside water, their spiritual eyes will open and they will talk to you. Some use sand, some use stones, and some use stick. It depends on how the person's gift manifests. There are so many other types of AFA, but in essence, all of them are saying the same thing in their own way. The spiritual language is one major issue that confuses people. Yes, let me come to this. Sometimes, when AFA is being conducted, that is spiritual consultation, some of the dibia, they don't use plain language. They can talk to you using proverb. Some use parable, that's ilu, to talk. Then if there is somebody that understands the language of the spirit, what the spirit is saying, it is now the person's duty to interpret for you. Or if you want the spirit to interpret and say more, you politely ask. Because there are some people during consultation, they don't know how to ask questions. They might ask rudely or what is irrelevant. That is why they say, ana agba afa, ana agba uche. There are sometimes you go to meet a native doctor. He will start the AFA by asking you about your family. How do you relate with people in your family? Some prefer when they are talking to you, as they are talking, they go inside their inner spirit and AFA will start coming forth. Some, they would like to hold your hand, the palm. So use palmistry to do spiritual consultation. Once you sit with them face to face, they touch your hand, the spirit will reveal something to them while they are touching your palm. That is also another form of divination. Some use the tarot card. Once you pick a card, they will interpret it and tell you what the card is saying about your future. Depends on the number of cards you picked and what the significance of the one you picked and what it is saying. So there are very many of them. The spiritual language is different. As it differs, so the AFA medium also differ. People like the spiritual language but don't know its meaning. For example, Afugili is very deep. You hear languages like Ijitose, Aturukpose, Akete, Ete Aturukpa, Okale Okute, Osagali, Agaliaku, and many more. It is left for the diviner to tell you what it means, to explain in simpler terms for you to understand, even though the language is very sweet to hear, but it's very difficult for a non-initiate to understand. In spiritual consultation, you can know deep things that happened many years ago, even before one was born, and discover lasting solutions to remedy what was destroyed. Any person that always consults spirit about important things is spiritually inclined and always prosper in life. You avoid mistakes, you avoid pitfalls. The spirit will direct you, as your spirit guide. If you do AFA consultation maybe 2 times in a month, you will avoid mistakes. Sometimes you can go for AFA when there is a recurring dream that you keep on having. You keep on having this dream and it keeps on recurring because you don't understand. You need to go for AFA consultation. But before you go for AFA consultation, ensure that you use alligator pepper to cleanse yourself and rebook the dream. You will say, if it's a bad dream, you have to say words against that dream. You use 4 seeds of osoji, cleanse yourself and say, osoji ade ejiji fele. Ajo anu lolo. No mam bia na mmezu. No, it's not my portion. Whatever it is, evil you saw in the dream, it's not your portion. That you are taking it away from your body. In Eket, Ori, Afo Nkwo, you are taking it away from your body. Use the osoji and cleanse. from head to toe, turn it anti-clockwise 4 times, and you throw it away. Throw it away in a safe place where none of your relatives will go and step on it, because once they step on it, they carry that thing, might be transferred to them. Sometimes once you have those evil dreams, you can use egg, native egg, and speak against every negativity, every evil you saw in the dream. You reject it, rebuke it, say it's not your portion, you banish it. And you likewise, you use that native egg to clean your body from head to toe. Turn it anti-clockwise 4 times. Either you keep it in one corner of the house where you will not touch it, it will just be there and expire before you throw it out, or you go and smash it. Me, I prefer smashing the egg. You take it to 3-road junction, 4-road junction, where lots of activity go on. You break it, smash it there, and say as you are smashing it, you are smashing that evil dream away out of your life. You turn, don't allow the egg yolk to touch your body. You turn, come back, and maybe put sea salt in a bucket of water, and you bathe you take your bath last thing at night or early in the morning. But mostly cleansing bath is it's good that you take it at night around 9 or 10, so you don't go out anymore. If you have a white cloth, you wear it and go to bed. So even once you do that cleansing, don't forget to go to AFA to inquire, why is this dream reoccurring? So if that AFA, you go to a diviner that knows how to do AFA, that is in spirit, he can be able to bring out that hidden thing and tell you the spiritual work to do to really nip things in the bud, to really stop any evil or stop any evil projection. It is according to what AFA reveals. That is how the spiritual work is going to be done, so that you will not have problems. Because most times dreams are warnings. Dreams are AFA on their own. I want people to know this today. Dreams are also AFA on their own, because the people that bring the dream to you, they are your spirit guides. Like your ndị ichie, alụsị so gị, or chi gị, or ndị mmiri gị, or dị mmiri gị, or nwunye mmiri gị, or your agwụ. So it depends. They all work hand in hand. Whichever way, just know that you are opportune to get that revelation from your dream. Some they see it like vision. If you keep reoccurring and reoccurring, then you go for AFA to find out the deeper meaning and what the solution should be. Once you do the AFA and AFA gives you solution, you don't have to waste time. You do that spiritual work to avert danger, to avert calamity, to avert sudden death if it is something about death. Sometimes you don't have to wait for you to be in trouble or have those evil dreams before you go for AFA. And also, I'm not saying that you should be patronizing dibias up and down because of AFA. If you now go to this dibia for AFA, dibia A, you go to dibia B, you go to dibia C, you go to dibia D, at the end of the day, you will be confused. Probably all the AFA will not be saying the same thing. Or at the end of the day, you spend money, the money you would have used to settle and do one spiritual work. You have now gone to 5 different places and you become more confused, and the spiritual work will pile up. So you should be in the right frame of mind, even if you are spiritually inclined. Being spiritually inclined is you being awake. Me, I believe as long as you feed your chi will reveal things for you. But knowing your chi is not that you will neglect other things. Knowing your chi does not mean that when you have evil dream, you will not go for AFA, or you say namuna chimuso, things like that. Asị na onye chi na-echekwa onwe ya. So you have to take some steps to avert danger. If it is a blessing that is hanging, you also need to go for AFA and know what to do to bring it down, so that those people attacking that blessing, maybe could be promotion, could be having a baby, could be getting married, so that if there are evil ones that are attacking it, ndị ajọ mmụọ na-agbachinu, ndị ọgbata ufie, yeah, you now do the spiritual work and take them out, so that they will not disturb your blessing. Your blessing will come to you without disturbance. It is very important that people should consult spirit about important things if you are spiritually inclined, because you will always prosper in life. In fact, people will be seeing you as outstanding and extraordinary humans. They will be like, how come this person is prospering? It is because you are taking care of your life, the spiritual aspect. I want people to know that what happens to you on this earth is 90% spiritual and the rest is just 10% physical. But it's not that you become too spiritual that everything, you now spiritualize it. There is the part of physical aspect, mental aspect, academic aspect, psychological aspect, financial aspect of things. So you need to balance the equation, like I will always say. There is also the medical aspect. If you didn't brought spiritual, please. So that you understand me better. You don't quote me out of context. I know I teach about spirituality, but I will also like you to know that everything is not spiritual. There are times you use your common sense, because Chineke nyego gi ogugu isi nye gi amamife. You apply that too. If it's something that you're sick, that you know you need medical attention, please go and get the medical attention. As you tackle the spiritual aspect of it, go and get your medical attention. Treat yourself medically. However, any person that doesn't consult spirit makes mistakes in life and does things anyhow. It is applicable. Like a friend of mine, those days that I was still a Christian, I've had these attacks by the evil ones, witches. Yes, several times. Because then I was a prophetess in Celestial Church. Once they see my four corner, they always attack me. So sometimes when I come to school during those days in the university, I normally tell people this thing that I experienced. I ask them, have they experienced this? Have they experienced that? They'll be like, Namana Koelika, that I don't know what I'm saying. So I just narrate those experiences, being that I find it strange. And I felt safe discussing that among my colleagues. Maybe one or two persons can tell me what it means or how to overcome. But sadly, none of them could. So spiritually, I learned how to fight and defend myself. Because those days, the only part of the Bible, that storybook that I like, is the Psalm. I love reading dangerous Psalms. So Psalm is also like incantation. It's like a chant too. And I said, that thing there you are reading, that is it too. So I do read that because it makes me fortified spiritually. So if there is any attack in the spirit, I am very aggressive while I fight back. So it happened that one of my friends that was laughing at me then, when we graduated, she got a job at Abuja, where she went with her child. She was living outskirts of the school, outside the school. She was coming from that village into town to teach. Unfortunately for her, her landlady was not a nice person. So she started noticing some things. Sometimes she will keep her shoes outside. Her shoes will disappear. After 1 week, the shoe will appear. Likewise, her slippers, sometimes clothes. So she didn't take it as anything. She will be like, maybe the breeze blew it away. Or maybe someone wore it and later, after using it, bring it back. So it got to a point that she said she started noticing that sometimes it's now only one pair that she will meet. Like for her slippers, she will not see the left side, but the right side will be there. So I don't know what we are discussing one day that she called me, and she mentioned it, and I told her to be very, very careful, that thing is not ordinary. She said, hey, Ibiakwa, hey, na Amaka Uchende, Ibiakwa. I said, please, I'm telling you, be careful about your life. That what you just told me, somebody is after you, evil eye. Somebody is monitoring you. She said, it's not possible. Her landlady is such a nice person. This, that, and this, that she's very close to her. She even keeps soup in her fridge. She's so nice and caring. Sometimes she carries her baby. I said, my dear, be very careful. An evil person does not tell you is evil. You only know when the deed is done against you. They are the nicest person that you can ever see on this earth. Yes. That was exactly whom the landlady is. Because at the end of the day, she discovered that it was that woman that was killing her, sucking up the blood of her child. Every time the child will be sick, I see no blood transfusion. Blood transfusion. It came to a point, she was like, this child eats now. What can be causing this shortage of blood? She didn't know it was spiritual attack. One day on her way to school, she said the bus somersaulted. How the thing somersaulted, she didn't know. It was so mysterious. Nobody got injured except her and her son. She twisted her hand. And the son too, they have to wear neck brace because of the impact. Ka the neck yali shift out of her. So when she now noticed this, she started also having problem where she teaches. There's nothing she does there that they find good. That was when she remembered me and all those things I was saying those days. She now reached out to me. I just told her, my sister, it is now you start fighting the battle. Don't sleep. Once it is 12 midnight, read certain psalms. And when you read it, be prepared because she will come to attack you. But she will never overcome you. If you are fearless, you will overcome her. That's why I'm giving you this psalm to read is for your own protection and your son's protection. But meanwhile, start looking for another house. Look for another alternative and pack out from there. She was like, my rent has not expired, this, that, and I said, don't mind that rent. Forfeit it for her. Your safety and your son's life is what matters. And in spiritual battles, mean that you are not a prophetess, you can't withstand that woman. That woman is a witch. I told her straight ahead. I asked her, remember the day you told me about your missing slippers, your whatever clothes and all that? I told you that somebody is after you and you have an evil eye casted on you. What do you think I was saying? Do you think we are just having ordinary discussion? Ima onye na-agba afa naturally, that natural senabo. When you are talking with someone, discussing with the person naturally goes inside within himself or herself and be checking those things spiritually. They might not have all these medium for casting alpha for you to know that the person not bojena more. That was me. But she disregarded it. Not until it started getting late. So had it been she's spiritually conscious, she would have gone to do alpha those days or run to where is it, what do they call it? Where they do prophecy. Ebana fourth. To inquire about what is happening. Or even before she moves inside the house, she will ask, Anna Juese. You might think it's minor things, but don't take it lightly like that. Even when you want to pack into a new house, Juese. Or even when you can't Juese, once you pack in, do cleansing. But it's also good that you Juese, make it a priority. And make your inquiry about the house you are about to pack in. Ask around the vicinity. Go deadly. And find out to avoid trouble or stories that touch the heart. So it became very clear that she was under attack, witchcraft attack. And when she started that psalm, she said for a week, the woman started avoiding her. The woman stopped answering her greetings. The woman now came out fully and antagonistic. I told her that thing will happen. if she keeps strictly to what I ask her to do, but the woman can never harm her, she can never do anything, but she will manifest for you to know that she's the one attacking you, so that you will believe me. And that was exactly what happened. She now became her friend. She started calling the husband that they should pack out from that place. And that was how they moved out. They got another house. In fact, they relocated back down to Anambra. So she will lose her life and her son's life because of money. Abuja hustle. So they forfeited. Even that thing that she was thinking is more precious. She now saw that her own life and her child's life is more precious. They relocated down to Anambra. That was the end. So the woman didn't see her again. But had it been she was spiritually inclined initially, it wouldn't boil down to this. Okay, or she would have avoided that house had it been she met the right person to do this AFA with. Then during this Ibafa, before you go for Ibafa, you have to talk to your spiritual guide. That you are embarking on making inquiry about yourself, about your life, about your family. That you want your spirit to align with the spirit of this Libya so that they can reveal hidden things to you, or things that will happen in the future, or solution to a certain problem. Many people don't know this. Or you can even fast. Me, I fast as only ordinary. There are times you abstain from some things, so that you can get answer, so you can connect, so you can align. Fasting is not a Christian thing. Even fasting is used medically to cure some diseases. So I want to correct that impression. Even now, there are days that I wake up, take my bath, brush my teeth, and do my daily Ibafa or Igoji. After that, I won't feel like eating. It's not as if I'm not hungry, but more because at that point in time, they don't want you to eat. Maybe they have a message for you. Maybe they want you to see some certain things when you are in your quiet time, or you want to meditate. You have to deprive yourself from certain things so you can connect easily. That is why some Dibias have Iwu. Like those ones that don't know and ignorantly, they will be eating cassava. You can't connect easily in the spirit. It weighs down the body and also the spirit. You will not have access. Your spirit will not have access. If you want to go deeper in the spirit realm. Because there are some people that have natural setup, they don't use anything to cast their AFA. They might be moved by songs. They might be moved by any musical instrument. They might be moved by itumuofa afa. You see them tabagona more in the spirit. And they start their spiritual consultation with you. So you should also do cleansing before you go for Ibafa if it's the one you want to go face to face. Because sometimes you carry uchu, negative energy, that once you get to that place, the Dibia might not see anything, or it will affect the AFA. Negative energy, it does. That is why you see some Dibia, before they can cast AFA, they clean their instrument. They cleanse it with impiato or alligator pepper. It depends on the cleansing method they use. Even they themselves, they cleanse themselves, because there are times if the Dibia's body is contaminated, you won't actually know what the AFA is saying. Because the Dibia is not clean. Yes, they won't come or best than wine. Also, the client or the person that the inquirer, inquiring and more. It can affect the Dibia's energy. That is why before you enter inside the obu, you have to cleanse yourself with osoji, osora, alligator pepper. You have to cleanse yourself. So both ways, everyone have a responsibility to make sure that they get a clear and vivid spiritual consultation with solution. Because it is spirits that control that Ibafa. It is what they reveal that the dibia will interpret. So during that Ibafa, a lot of things are revealed. It depends on the kind of afa ichole Igba. And afa the people that can tell you who your reincarnator is. But most times they are not correct due to the fact that it wasn't done when you are still young. You have already grown and contaminated your spirit, soul, and body. So it's not always easy. And people from the other side, they are looking for who to reincarnate, to answer their reincarnator too. The way you drag right in the physical world, that is how they drag their right too in the spiritual. Maybe because they want to come back. So Ibafa is a medium through which one can hear or know the mind of spirits by the diviner. Only the diviner can interpret the spiritual language. The good purpose in Ibafa is one we know much about one's life. Sometimes Afa Milemi will show you your talent, your destiny. But most times I believe in telling people to monitor their dream. Your dream is a good way. It's natural Afa for you. It's natural Osenabo for the person that dreams and it comes to pass. So these kind of people, they don't need to come for Ibafa because they are in good terms with their spirits. But nonetheless, if they still want to come for Afa, they can come so that they will be shown more clarity on what they are seeing in the dream. Because some can dream, but they can't interpret. Some can dream and also interpret. So it works both ways, whichever one that favors. Some Afa will just tell you about the things that happened in the past, so you can know where to start from or where the problem started or how to end the problem. Some will be in future. If I can get more ordinary, that is what Afa will reveal. So it all depends. There are no medium of Afa that is the best. I hear people say Afugili, Afugili. Afugili depends on who is casting the Afa and what the Afa is saying and how the person is interpreting it. And how clean the person handling Afa Ugili is. Onye mgba Afa je pitosi onwe ya bịa chere ife na ahịala gị, ọ ga na-ahịa rubbish. Beluso, he does cleansing. Cleanses his instrument. That is why they keep it holy in a sacred place. Ifefa ji agba Afa. There are also some people who come, they say they want to do Afa divination. They don't really come to do Afa divination. They want to attack the dibia. Especially those kind of evil people, they want to blind your spiritual eyes. Some come to attack you, some come to dilute your power, some come to know your source of power. That is why I don't blame some dibias who don't like face-to-face interaction. It's not that they are not afraid or that they are afraid. Sorry. It's not that they are afraid. They are not afraid. They don't want such avoidable attacks. Because there are ways the spirit can talk to you. Don't allow this person to come close. This person has so and so negative purpose for coming. Of course, you stop the person from coming. Some are good at doing online Afa. You don't need to come despite the distance or whatever. Because of our people living in diaspora. They do it and do it perfectly. It's left for you to ask questions after the Afa. You have to wait and ask questions after the Afa has been casted. or maybe there is something that is in doubt. Some who are in the spirit while they are casting the Afa, they will even tell you, na no nwere ife ibu n'obi, na ị na-ajụ ajụjụ ihe dị otu a dị otu a, ngwa jụọ nya bụ ajụjụ ka a jụọ mmụọ. You see it now? You now ask because you are permitted to ask the question. There's some, they don't want interruption. After casting the Afa, they will now ask you to ask your question. Ana agba afa, ana agba uche. Sometimes you can help the dibia out so that they will know, go exactly to the root of the problem and solution. Not ana agba okilikili. Epiestazie chisi, na onye na-akasi afa, amara ife ọ na-agba n'afa. Sometimes you can tell Afa, this is what I want to know about. This is what I want to ask. What am I going to do? You go straight to the point. Afa, once the person starts casting the Afa, we'll go straight to the point. So after casting the Afa, what do you do? Do you do your spiritual work, or do you just cast the Afa for casting's sake? That is also another issue. I will advise you that after casting the Afa, you follow up with the spiritual works, the solution that Afa gave to you. So let us train our children, our future generation, about spiritual consciousness through Ibafa, through spiritual divination, for them to be aware of their spiritual rights and to do spiritual consultations when things go wrong. Or they can also do spiritual consultation when they are in doubt. When you want to know the person to marry, maybe you have so many suitors coming for you. The world is deep, mysterious, without being exposed to spiritual consultations. Our existence is risky due to evil lurking around, seeking to dominate the spiritually blind ones, or to destroy one's destiny in this world. We have to be careful. We have to be awake. We have to be alert. It is also through this Ibafa that most people know their water of incarnation. They know their alusi, borohol, for the ones that are choosing to serve. It is through this Ibafa that some know the category of Obanje they belong to, and if they have Obonuke, or if the spirit of Akalogeli is following them, or if they did commit a crime. You now know whether to do Ikpualo or Ikochi Onunu. Ikochi Onunu is closing an open grave. The other one, Ikpualo, is when someone commits a sacrilege, like incest, sleeping with your blood relative. So you see, there are many ways that Afa is casted, and so many things that it will reveal. You also know your spiritual guides through Ibafa. You also know your spiritual trees through Ibafa. You also know Mwosogi si Bennegi na Bennagi through Ibafa, to avoid spiritual mistake. You also know when the Ondiche is demanding for something or Ondi Mirigi. You know your spiritual husband or spiritual wife through Ibafa. A lot of things are revealed. That is how people become protected. They know their spiritual guides and know how to attend to them. They know how to seek for their help to renew their spiritual ability. Because a lot of things is revealed. So I want to encourage everyone that to do Afa periodically is good, but you don't make it a habit to avoid being confused. So what you do, apply caution and moderation. And sometimes when you get your Afa result, it is meant for you, except it is one that concerns the family. You can now divulge it to members of the family who are also into ordinary. like you. If it is personally for you, you keep it to yourself. You can only share it with a like mind that also believe in ordinary. If you share it with somebody who does not believe in the traditional way of ịGBA, there will be problem. The person might start broadcasting you around as onye the fetish, the person that is demonic. Because most people condemn what they don't understand, what they are ignorant of. They term it evil without conducting research or doing investigation. Like I said earlier, Ibafa will help you avert danger. Will help you know your spiritual guides, your spiritual trees, your water of incarnation, the type of Obanje that you are, things that happen in the past, things that will still happen in the future, or things that are happening in the now. It will always bring solution. Any AFA that you do that does not give you a solution, it is not AFA. Obura AFA ka ịgba, obura the spiritual divination ka ịgba. There was an issue of a woman that came to me. She sent me the voice note that the dibia used to do AFA for her. After listening to the voice note, I said, Madam, AFA anu aka fodo, obusigo. She said, that's it. That is what the dibia told her. I said, how can AFA be done for you and there is no solution? What spiritual work was recommended by the AFA for you to solve your problem? She said, none. I said, you see, then that means you have to pay me for AFA so that I can recast AFA for you and really find out if it is true what the person is saying about your condition. She said that was why she was confused and she was asking you, what can you? She said, in fact, the AFA was just like a message of doom. If the woman is not strong-hearted, she will just collapse on hearing that kind of AFA. I mean, there are things you see in the spiritual. You find a way to relate it to the person that came for spiritual divination. Spiritual divination should not bring fear for the person. It should give hope. It should bring relief. It should bring solution. It should be able to salvage the person's life. And not to be a messenger of doom. If the person now goes home overthinking, coupled with high blood pressure, we now start dealing with the person. No. Even if the message is a deadly one that is conveying about death or destruction, you, the diviner, find a way of relaying that message gently without bringing fear into the person's heart, mind, and spirit, soul, and body. Find a way to gently break the news, be diplomatic about it, but emphasize on the urgency of the result of the AFA and what to do to avert it. Not that you come out and say, Iganwu, so date. Or maybe you are casting the AFA and you saw that one person is cheating the other person. You say it openly, like that. You have destroyed that marriage. I'm talking to my fellow Dibias now. You have destroyed that marriage. That is where your amamife, your konuche comes in. You have to be diplomatic. You talk to them. If there is anybody that is doing something that is outside of marriage, it don't follow. But if the spirit reveals the exact person, you have to have a tete-a-tete, that's a private discussion with the person, and caution the person and tell the person to stop it. This is what is bringing problem to your marriage. Not that you say it in front of the husband, or maybe probably the wife is cheating or the husband is cheating. You say it before the wife. You have destroyed that home. So let us be cautious. Let us apply caution. Even though we are spiritualists, Dibias, there are things of the spirit that you don't open up immediately and start saying it. apply caution, apply common sense. Save that marriage. Save the situation. You have to be matured in spirit. Only the people that I see do this they are the ones that are matured in the spirit. Otego ndị aka ochie gbakọtagolo afa. Onwezi ifefa na afụ na mmụọ kụja akụja. They found a way to subtly attend to the person without cracking up the marriage. But if it's something that is omini or something that has to do with insane, you have to tell the person. Maybe go deadly. From the person's reaction, you will now know whether the person is admitting it, because some of them will deny, like some of these people that anafa kobala na afafa, they will deny. Some will even say that they are virgins. Yes, because they are embarrassed now that Afa could say such. Especially this has to do with India Pololo, the Dibias that are called to serve. You can't serve with bloody hands. You have to clear your path spiritually. So once something like this is seen, you talk to the person diplomatically, the way the person will understand. It's left for the person to decode. Obuno so sian iwebia egwawagi anya oha. Those ones that have conscience will admit, yes, I have done it once or twice. Or maybe it was years ago. So maybe short-term memory, they can't remember immediately. They will forget. Maybe later, that is why also when you go for after the AFA consultation and the result, go home, sit down, relax, think over things before you can now arrange yourself and start carrying out your spiritual work. After going for AFA, it does not mean that you immediately you should start doing those spiritual works without thinking about the cost or what it will take from you as a person. So that is it. Well, I hope you have learned one or two lessons from my teachings on Ibafa spiritual consultation. And please, I want you to apply it. I want you to take care of your spiritual life, to be spiritually inclined, so you can avert danger in future. So you can know what to prevent, how to solve your problems. Because anybody that consults spirit does not make mistake in life. You don't live your life anyhow. The person that consults spirit can withstand the whirlwind of life. Is prone to survive in any environment they find themselves. That is the case for the person that is spiritually inclined. You see, the person is always spiritually conscious and alert, very observant, but not to the point that you become melodramatic, that every little thing, maybe a bird, instead of flying past your veranda, flew inside your sitting room and later flew out through the window. Whereas the bird meets its way. Do you understand? I also told you that in Ibafa you can know deep things that happened years ago, even before one was born. You discover lasting solutions to remedy what was destroyed. Any person that always consults spirits about important things is spiritually inclined and always prosper in life. It will make you to give your spirit attention, your spiritual guide. You give them attention and you always succeed in whatever you do because you always look before you leap. So thank you for listening to me. I do hope you also like and subscribe to my channel so that you get notification whenever I upload any new video. The number to always call me on is 081 3241 2687. Dibia Wangu Chendo is my name. Thank you for listening.